Howdy guys, how's it going? So this right here is going to be all about the Fennec, aka the Kriss Vector submachine gun. This is going to be following the Galil video. So just in case this is the first one you watch and you haven't watched that past one, we're going to be breaking it down since I have a relatively better than average, understanding of IRL weapons, and definitely between the Galil and especially this here Vector. I have an understanding how these things function IRL. I'm going to break down what makes this Fennec, well, the difference between the Fennec and the Kriss Vector, and why the Fennec is the Kriss Vector. Okay, so now, just starting off, really, physically, the only real difference is, okay, so I can't point to it and you see it, but so between where the mag well is and where the magazine fits into the mag well and to that section behind it, which is where the bolt group actually springs down into it, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then you skip over to where that blank section is, that empty section between that and where the actual the grip is on that, between that leads up to the trigger group. There is supposed to be a section, a polymer section, a plastic section, however you want to look at it. It's definitely polymer, but just in case you don't know what polymer means, that connects those two sections together. And that's something that, even though it's a very, very minor detail, definitely throws off on the traditional look of what makes the Kriss Vector the Kriss Vector, but in this case the Fennec. But so, like, what the Kriss Vector is so, like, it's meant to be a series. It was originally designed as a submachine gun, but where it's being made to fit like a civilian standard. There's a rifle variation, there's a pistol variation, but it's still the exact same thing in terms of its like internal mechanism, except for the fact that for its civilian variation, at least in the United States, it's just made to be semi-automatic, and then its rifle or pistol variation has been made to fit, the ATF standards, but it's easily manipulated to fit to however you want to run it. But like the way that it works is it's based off of a delayed blowback system that is designed to reduce the recoil. And like if you're very interested in it, or if you're very curious, then just search it up. But basically how it works is it's got the front section of that, it's got a very short barrel and a very short, technically it's got a very short bolt group, but what it does is basically just look at where the magazine is at and where the magazine inserts to where it meets up where the bolt group is and where the barrel is. But then everything in that 90 degree, well, it's not quite, it's actually a little less than a 90 degrees, but that bolt group travels back and then down. So that in turn realistically reduces the recoil, and, well, not necessarily the recoil, but the muzzle lift of the weapon, which in turn reduces the recoil and, contributes to having a much flatter shooting experience. Now, like, it's meant to be a 45, and it was originally designed to be a 45 caliber weapon. IRL, you can get it in like 9mm, you can get it in 40 caliber, you can get it in 10mm, I'm pretty sure you can get it in 357. I think I've seen it in 22 long rifle. Now in terms of this game, it's offered in 45 ACP and then 45 ACP hollow point. Now with most weapons on here, I kind of assumed that pretty much every weapon was running hollow points, but at least in the case of this, when it says it's offering the 45 ACP ammunition, the only thing, since it's offering, the hollow point rounds here for the 12 round mags, the only thing that it could possibly be offering otherwise would be full metal jacket, or, like your soft tip lead ammunition. And I mean, realistically, that's about the only thing, especially for the time period that this is supposed to be posted in. So with those things in mind, that's kind of surprising, because like originally I'd assumed this would be rocking the 45 ACP hollow point rounds altogether. But when you get into the ammunition section of the attachments, that's what you're going to be working with, and that's going to be your options. Now, I haven't had a chance to rock with these in-game multiplayer wise, because I've been working on the Galil. But because, like, just for the record, right now I am actually in custom games, just going through showing you the full attachments that are, you know, that are available on this, because I always do that to begin with anytime new guns rock, just so I know everything that is going to be available for the weapon beforehand, in terms of beforehand to me actually being able to unlock it. But I just want to get, I wanted to make these videos on the Vector and on the Galil, but just because I know a lot of people are confused because they heard about the Galil and the Vector dropping, and then, you know, they come out with the Fennec and, you know, the CR56 AMAX, and it just kind of confused a lot of people. The Fennec, aka the Kriss Vector, was a lot less confusing for most people, just because it so much resembled what the Vector actually looks like, and for a lot of people, if they don't have a lot of gun knowledge, you know, probably didn't look much different at all, despite that little, you know, the bottom polymer bridge between where that bolt carrier group ends and where the actual handle begins. But for the Galil, a lot of people, you know, going off their past Call of Duty experience and comparing the CR56 AMAX to the original Galil they might have seen in Black Ops 1 or even Black Ops 3. And it's just, it definitely looks a lot different, but it is the Galil. And like I said, I'm dropping there should be a video before this one that I touched on that and broke it down quite a bit. But that's going to do it for the Fennec Kriss Vector breakdown. So, like, look, I hope this video wasn't made in vain. I hope you guys got some kind of if not necessarily enjoyment, but at least information out of it. And, you know, like I said, this one, along with the Galil video, is right after, you know, the good old live lit commentary season 4 Damascus working in progress breakdown. So, you know, just give me some feedback, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends, especially if you got friends that don't know a lot about weapons and firearms. Check the links down in the description to my other channel, including my shooting channel. And yeah, until the next one, adios.